as we wait on them, maybe just to have an introduction of what Juwa is. Juwa is Jenga Ubunifu Wetu Africa, is a creative workshop developed by Terra Model Management with the aim to have a dynamic meeting of fashion designers who are backbone of the fashion industry to bring economic empowerment and stimulate change through fashion conversations. So that's a brief about Juwa, and we are all gathered here to meet fashion designers, models, and the players in the industry to learn from them, network, and of course have meaningful conversations around fashion in Kenya and in Africa as a whole. Mr. Musa Oyo, wherever you are, kindly, we are waiting for you here to hear from you. And Mr. Vincent Padare, the director for Alliance Francaise Mombasa, who are our hosts today. The mission of Juwa is also to promote and encourage sustainable practices, such as facilitate collaboration of fashion designers in fashion, raise awareness of business side of fashion design, and raise standards in fashion industry. That is our objectives. So that's our mission. Let me read to you some of the objectives of Juwa. Objectives number 1 is to educate and create a learning platform for people wishing to know more about fashion design. 2, to create a networking platform for fashion designers and other fashion players for future collaborations and jobs. And 3, to unite all persons in fashion industry in Kenya and coming up with solutions to tackle challenges in the society. Those are the objectives of Juwa. So as you're seated here, it's good to know what is Juwa, what we are all about, what is our mission, what is our objectives, and how can we work together to make a difference of fashion in Africa. Musa aonge, and then she can be the first speaker, if you can allow that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to Musa Oyo as he takes the stage to officially open for us this workshop. Karibu sana. Welcome our sponsors. Karibuni sana. Let's clap for them as they take on stage. Thank you. Thank you. Feel at home.
So hello everyone.
Hello.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming to Juwa Workshop. And I know you really sacrificed a lot in order to come to this event. Some of you may have traveled all the way from Nairobi, some of you from Kilifi, some even from Bamburi, from town. So we'd like to thank you for all coming to this event. So my name is Musa Oyo. I'm the founder of Terra Model Management. And at Terra, what we do is we brand models, we train them, and we give them opportunities that are there in the fashion industry. So our main purpose...
By Musa Oyo, we have Alliance Francaise, who are our hosts here. We also have KEPSA in the building. We have SIB Kenya. If you're here, kindly wave. Tukujue. So let's start. Terra Model Management. Thank you, Mr. Musa. Alliance Francaise. Any representative from Alliance? They'll be here in the next 8 minutes. Thank you. KEPSA. All right. SIB Kenya. SIB Kenya. All right. We have the JW show. Any representative here? Makofi kwake. Thank you. Swahili Port Hub. These are our sponsors and partners. Thank you so much. Let's clap for them kindly. We have Afro Fashion Connect. Where are you? Okay, fine. Let's clap for him. Good. We have Haley Model Management. Haley Model Management. Any representative? Let's clap for them. We have G4G Africa. Let's clap for them. All right, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Feel at home. We're here to learn, connect, and of course, get to understand the business side of fashion. I know there are so many designers here, upcoming designers. We have models here. I want to tell you that this is an opportunity for you to thrive. So use it, grab it, and go with it. Thank you so much to our partners. Feel at home. On to our next. We are going to have our first speaker. We're going to have our first speaker, and because she's abroad, we kindly ask that we're going to have Miss Karin, because she's already ready, so we need to be ready as well. So Mr. Saitoti, sorry.
Or the Kenyan Private Sector Alliance. So we really promote businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, designers, students to be circular and sustainable too. So I would like to run you through a very brief introduction on what I mean by that and why it's so important for fashion as well. As we have a lot of fast fashion, we have a lot of fashion, and most of it ends up at landfill. So only 9% is being recycled or reused. So I would like to highlight that. So also this, my jacket and my shirt, they are designed not by Kenya, but they came from Utumba. So I have adjusted them and I'm wearing it like that. So that's my personal ability of design. It's not much more than that. So I would like to share with you a small presentation. Oh, I have to ask the host to share that. Can you share my presentation?
Yes, please. I'm loading up my presentation.
Or you allow me to share the presentation. That's also possible because you're the host.
All right.
Do you have the presentation?
Yes, please. I do have the presentation.
Yeah, but you have to, I can't share it through Zoom. So if you allow me to share in Zoom, I can do it, or you have to share your screen then. Is that possible? Okay, I can, if you figure out how to share my screen,
No,
because
it's okay.
I can't.
I'm setting it out.
Okay, so I can already start with a small introduction. If you are a fashion designer, we would think like it's really time for Africa, it's time for local pride, it's time for sustainable resource use, it's time to rethink, to redesign, and we really need creative innovation that has a positive impact on people and planet. I think if we can imagine, and you can imagine, then you can create. So if we can create a sustainable, fashionable world, that would be awesome. What do I mean with a future-proof fashion world? At the moment, the current situation is actually a take, make, and waste economy. So we take resources, we create something, we make something, and then we sell it, and then we dispose it. And we prefer to do that as fast as we can, so we can sell as much as we can. And that's how we also ended up today with a fast fashion, because everyone wants something new tomorrow, and then it goes thrown away or given away, but ultimately it ends on the landfill. And the only way to create a thriving economy where those resources, they are actually finite. So we don't have them forever. And secondly, it's a lot of pollution. So in the process of making it, we use dyes to dye your clothes. But we also use different toxic materials to get the fabric as we want to. And those cause pollution. And also textile on a landfill is not a great thing to have. We have a lot of plastics in our clothes. So all the synthetic materials are made out of plastics. And therefore that leaks all back into the oceans. So we really want to promote an economy and a circular economy where we rethink, where we redesign, and think what kind of materials are we using? Can we reuse them? Can they stay longer in the loop? And also, can we recycle them afterwards? Another important component is that we would really like to include people. And at the moment, the fast fashion industry is not very inclusive and it's very unequal. So people are working really hard for very little money, and the big brands making lots of money. So I think also in the future of the designers is to really put all your devotion into equality and sustainability.
Karin, you can get to share your presentation. Sorry.
Okay, let me go back and share that. Yes, okay. Yes, so you can see my screen. Now I need to make that bigger. So here you see also all kinds of materials, and I made a bit of a joke on putting also the plastic materials in it, but it's actually not a joke, because ultimately we work with materials, and materials, whether we call them waste or we don't call them waste, they're still materials, they're still resources. So that was an introduction. I've talked already about who I am and what I do, and I worked across the globe with this specific theme, and to really support businesses to get to a sustainable, inclusive level. So this is, I shared with you already what I think should be the flow of a more thriving economy. And the current fashion situation, we highlighted that the labor, it's quite inequality in the labor for fashion, because people are underpaid while the big brands make the money, and they don't really impose any prices on or upon consumers that say, okay, we also calculated the cost for the pollution, or we calculated actually the cost for not polluting. So fashion is too cheap, basically, for actually the impact it has. It's too cheap in terms of labor, and it's too cheap in terms of the environmental impact. Then it's fast. We use different resources and materials, and we then sell it around the globe. And also that would be a thing, if you can stimulate a local market and a local economy, that would be great, because you're more resilient and less depending on the big markets outside. Although handmade, nice fashion and sustainable fashion being exported from Africa would be a good achievement as well. Then, if we look at the opportunities of the circular economy, we can see the following. So we say a linear economy, you just use it and it ends up in the dustbin. A recycle economy, it being reused a bit more, and then it ends up in the landfill. A circular economy doesn't end up as waste at all. Now, where is there space for the fashion? It's in new business models. So maybe you don't sell, but you rent clothes, or you repair them, or you can borrow them. You can say we innovate on the inputs. They are safe, they're renewable. So actually when I wear something, it's a natural material, it can be compostable, or we can reuse it easily. I can make new fibers out of it, and that will make it much more convenient for recycling. So if you want to recycle, then it's very hard at the moment to recycle 5 fibers that are all in the same jacket. So if it's and cotton and synthetic material and acrylic, then it's almost impossible to identify those three and make new yarn out of it. So there's a lot of opportunities in innovative sales models and reuse models in the way you create and work with materials, and also how you recycle materials that are already in the loop. So for very brief, I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I've explained this. Let me. So when we look at the fabrics and the materials you use for your designs, it's fiber, and then it becomes yarn, and then it becomes a fabric. And if we realize that, then we can think backwards in how we can actually use either virgin resources, so fresh cotton, but also use natural materials and natural resources to color and dye your clothes. We can have a look again at the labor situation. Can we make sure that we create a fashion, a label that is actually going to be well for everyone who's involved in the chain? Because also, if you just have a very unfair and unequal chain, the minute something happens, the minute you have a pandemic, the minute you don't sell anymore, everything falls apart. Well, if you have a very sustainable cycle and everyone can thrive, you will be much more resilient at the same time. So if you look at Africa and at Kenya in specific, I think there are great opportunities. It's really time for Africa to really show who Africa is, who Kenya is. We have amazing designers. People are very creative, and I think to set the new tone and to work with materials differently, and to not just have materials in use and fashion in use for so short time, can really change the game. And also your creativity, what you put into it, personal design, handmade, based on traditions, it brings all a great quality of a product, and it would really highlight an authenticity of Kenya. So I think what we see in terms of trends is people are looking, consumers are much more conscious about that, and are really looking for the true Kenyan colors, the true Kenyan, and not just the touristic versions of something, but the real creativity. How can we convert what we have, your own cultural aspects? How can you bring that all out in fashion and make it sustainable and inclusive at the same time? The other and the last thing I would like to highlight is actually that there is a very nice website. I can include it. Let me see, I have included it. Yes. That could be interesting maybe for you, is a challenge, what design can do. And this not only focused on fashion, but it is actually initiated or founded by a fashion designer who said, we need to redesign. And this is a challenge, and it's great because they offer you support if you start up a business, if you have an innovation, if you have a solution, and you're the new designer in terms of fashion, you can apply and you can get like a funding for like around $10,000, if I'm correct. But have a look at the website, what design can do. They bring my story together, and they convert it into a challenge with a prize to win if you are creative and innovative, as we need. So we really need you to be that for the future. So that was it. If you have any questions, kindly ask, and have a great day.
Thank you. Any question? Yes, Musa, please.
Hi, Miss Karin. do that. Hi. 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 I was asking if a designer was having a project that surrounds something on recyclable planet, or they can recycle plastics or recycle into making something look good. Can they be able to work with Kenya on that angle?
If they can work with a challenge, yeah, probably they can. I would look it up. We get a lot of those kind of actions and challenges around. I'm very happy to share them. A lot of the times Plex, so in my team, Plexides will share with people if they think, oh, they can benefit from it. But definitely, because that's exactly what they want. Like if you can convert, actually we should phase out waste. So waste is something we came up with. I have decided that something to me is waste, but it's still a material, but I don't use it anymore. So if we can stop waste and we can start converting waste into value, then all those kind of innovations and projects and creativity and designs, new models, they're all very welcome also to be pitched at that challenge.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other question? Yes, please. It's a comment. All right. It's welcome.
Hi. Huh? Oh. Hi. I've been to the Gikomba market in Nairobi, and I've seen upcoming designers who use the outfits that are already out fashioned. They buy those outfits and they cut them up and make skirts, trousers, and make them into new fashionable outfits. I don't know if there's a way that you can work with such designers, because they're actually cutting out waste. They recycle the zips, the buttons, the elastics, and everything. So, and the cuttings, the cut-offs, they're used for making seats, and they're really reducing the waste. So maybe
it sounds great. I would love to hear more about it. And what we do as an organization is trying to find, for instance, the right mentor to make sure they can scale and they become bigger, or the right startup money to actually expand and to have more workers ready to sort of reuse the materials and to cut out. So yes, I would love to hear more of that, because it's great, sounds good. And also that could be maybe a proposal for what design can do.
Okay, you look me up, and I have friends that do that.
Great.
I can connect you with them.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? My question is, you see the designing part, like now they are using technology to connect to us. See now.
Kindly put the microphone close to mouth.
It's okay. My question is, like what she said, those people in Gikomba, they're using the waste to make what she has said. For us, we are using technology to connect to us. Those people, they don't have the means to reach out to you. So my question is, do you have somebody on the ground who talks to them, who creates awareness for the people who are in those areas who can't use the smartphones or who can't connect to YouTube to reach you, to know whatever they're doing, it is profitable, it can make more money.
Yeah, I understand your question. It's a good one. We have done a project which was all around waste to value, which is not only about textile or fashion, at the coast in Tudor. And that project, we had quite a number of people on the ground for a month. And we are trying to do a second run of that, and I think it would be great to include. So if you maybe can be able to hook us up, then we can see what do they really need to boost their business, who would be the right partners, but also for us, if we run programs and projects, we can find them maybe the seed funding to actually buy their equipment and to be able to run it bigger. It depends also on what kind of partnerships we have and the work we're doing, because it's not that we are not like a fund that just supports anyone who needs money to become bigger. So it normally is a program we run with other partners. But we do have it at the coast in Mombasa, and we are going to actually renew that pretty soon. So it would be great if you can link me up. I will share with you. Praxides and Josephine and my other team member Ebenezer have been on the ground for a long time, so they can then get in touch.
So you have an office right here?
We don't have an office in Mombasa, but we have partners in Mombasa. So for instance, we have the Circular Economy Hub, which is a great partner of us. They do a lot around innovation and phasing out waste. Their key focus though is digital. So it's e-waste and it's refurbishment, but they also bring like technology into innovation, and they have an incubator at the coast in Mombasa. So we have a point of reference there, and then we come sometimes for a month, sometimes once a week, and we have space and meetings there.
All right, thank you. Any other question? Maybe lastly, before we move on, can you share with us your social media handles?
Yes, ours are, I have to say it correct, gosh, because someone else is always being very good at that. You can find me under my name, so Karin Boomsma. I think it's in my screen. You can see my name. So that's the other, and then we have the website sustainableinnclusivebusiness.org, and our Twitter handle is as Sustainabiz. You can find that as well. And the LinkedIn, you can find me on my LinkedIn profile, and the LinkedIn profile of Sustainable Inclusive Business is just a full one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's clap for her for that insightful presentation. Thank you. Asante sana.
Have a super inspiring day and creative day together, and all the best.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Let's clap for her as we take on. Our guests, kindly take the stage. Can you have some music as they take the stage?
Habari zenu tena. If you are happy and you know, clap your hands. If you are happy and you know, clap your hands. If you are happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you are happy and you know, clap your. Asante. If you are happy and you know. If you are happy and you know. Okay, my name is MC Senero na nimefurahia leo kuwa hapa by the way. Unajua nimefurahia sana.
Mbona kuna warembo?
Alafu unajua ni nini? Umenipatia hard time. Mwanzo Musa alinitatiza jana usiku.
Ati nini?
Musa akinitumia picha ya venue. Nikasema Mungu wangu. Mimi yule naingia Kongoea mbao na chakua na nikambuko sasa zikaanza I'll be attending nikaona picha ya madam. Nikasema Mungu wangu. Hivi ndio watu wanaenda huko.
Bas, it's a fashion event.
Fashion event.
Yes.
Usijali hapa juu nimeomba.
Nani amekuvalisha?
Ngoja najidescribe. Hapa juu nimeomba. Hapa kamba ilipotea, nguo ya mtu ilipotea.
Hebu penduka viatu
nilinunua juzi.
So what's your style? What's your personal style?
Sasa hapa Musa phone niambie style ni nini ndugu yangu, niambia make sure kwamba nikija kwa event umenichanua kila kitu.
What's your personal style?
Mimi hivyo sijaijua style yangu by the way.
Leo umekuja kujua.
Leo nimekuja kujua because niliambiwa hapa ni place ambayo nitakutana na watu ambao wanafanya fashion, watu ambao kupose by the way kuja hapa nikaanza kuoneshwa na my little sister pale Majanda.
Nice. Majala.
Yep. Alianza kunionyesha how to pose. Kuja mimi nimezoea zile picha za. Lakini nikaambiwa I have to kuweka shoulder yangu sije nini. Nikiingia hapa pia about the venue ukiangalia kwenye side zetu naona picha zingine maridadi zaidi, si ndio? Tunaweza mapicha. Mazetu tumepata privilege nyingine nzuri zaidi ya kuweza kukutana na huyo madam ambaye ameweza kufanya hizi zote. She's an artist ambaye ameweza kufanya amazing job zote ambazo unaona hapa. Ako hapa maze, she's very young, 19 years old.
Wow.
19.
I want to see her. 19. We want to see her. Where is she?
Unataka kuita?
Kabisa.
Pasha mikono maze, pasha mikono.
19 years old.
19.
This is amazing.
Pasha mikono. Eka moja, 2, 3. Welcome Dr. Timima tafadhali. Karibu sana. Tupigeni makofi anapokuja jamani.
Most welcome doctor.
Yep. Karibu sana. Very strong na still anafanya projects. Na kuna mingi zaidi.
This is beautiful.
Sindio? Karibu sana madam.
It's on. Sanero kuwa gentleman. Haya.
Okay, I'm not used. Okay.
All right.
Is that better?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for. Can I put this down?
Sure.
Thank you so much for allowing me to take your time away from your fashionista. You know, I'm not a fashionista, and I'm not 19, but I am just an ordinary artist. Wow. All the things that you see here on the panels are done by me. I've been a teacher all my life, and I'm still a teacher. I still work, and I'm trying to get rid of all the things that I have done over the years. And Alliance Française has been very, very kind to me to allow me to show my work here. And from next week, Monday, there will be, names of the pictures and how much I'm selling them for. But I was told that you guys are coming, and I thought, oh, well, I must be here to see what you are doing. And I am absolutely fascinated by all the wonderful clothes that you people are wearing. I can't imagine me wearing such clothes, that's for sure. Why not? I don't think I would fit into them. I'm just comfortable as I am. And I don't want to insult your accomplishment by me wearing something that's going to look not me. Art is to be what you are. And my work shows that. There's one thing I want to mention. I saw somewhere at the back one of these, what do you call them, banners, where it said doodles. Doodling. Yeah. Where is it? Where did I see that?
Somewhere down here.
There. Doodling and art therapy. Now, Girls for Girls, Action Aid. I know Action Aid. I used to be, have I got time to talk a little? Sure. Yeah. Before I retired, I used to teach in Lanana School. How many of you know Lanana School? You know Lanana School. I used to teach there. I was the head of the art department. And I know Action Aid because when President Moy said that Lanana and the other national schools are no longer going to be just for the rich and the almighty. They're going to be for everyone. And I used to have young boys of 14 and 15 brought from Turkana and in that area by somebody, and comes this young boy who looks completely lost because he's come to the city for the first time in his life. Okay? And he comes to Lanana, and I used to be what was called the house mistress. I used to look after these boys. These boys are now men in their own right. They are all artists. They are in all kinds of professions. But I remember Action Aid and this little boy who looked completely lost. And somebody brings them, and that somebody who has brought them disappears. And the boy is there for me to look after. So I know Action Aid. And doodling and art therapy is very much part of my life. And up there you see all the doodles. And these are just a few. I have tons of them at home. But now, if I don't, if nobody buys a picture, it's all going to go in the trash. We are not going to. It's going to be in the trash. I'm past the idea of recycling, because when it goes in the trash, it will be recycled. Okay. So thank you very much for allowing me to talk to you. I do not wish to take your time. And if you do not mind, is it okay if I now say goodbye to all of you and wish you the best? Because I'm going to be very honest, because that is what a teacher is supposed to be, honest. I'm a little bit tired and I need to go home now. Is that okay with you guys? Yeah. Thank you so much and I think I'm just fascinated. Look at all these wonderful clothes that you are wearing. It's incredible. But do look at my pictures before you go home. Thank you very much.
Asante, tumpigeni
So
makofi
much,
jamani.
Doctor. Thank you so much. This is beautiful.
Najua wengi walikuwa wanatarajiwa wapate 19. Lakini haikuwa hivyo, si ndio?
Ilikuwa tu sawa.
Ilikuwa tu sawa.
Uliweza.
Si ndio?
Yeah. Just to continue, I mentioned I'm Quinta Wambulwa. I'll be your host. And I'm also the founder of Girls for Girls, Africa Mental Health Foundation. We have Sanero.
Yep.
You'll be our co-host today.
Sijui niongee nini, lakini kutulia mazee guys. Kenye mimi ningependa, hatukuja matanga, tulikuja kujifunza na to learn a lot from these guys, ndio? Ya, na pia nyinyi mtupatie experience zenu, tuweze kuinteract pamoja, feel like tukitoka hapa by jioni iko si ati tumekaa tu, si ndio?
Yes.
So before waanze kuongea, before wapate that courage, yani energy ya kutuongelesha, maze please let us feel like tuko hapa. Sawa? Nikiona hapa naona mavijana, si kidogo tutoke kwenye hiyo kiti tafadhali. Tutoke tu kwenye hiyo kiti please. Toka tu kwenye hiyo kiti. Toka tu kwenye hiyo kiti please. Just try kutoka kwenye hiyo kiti. Najua kuna mwingine anasema, ile breakfast nimepata nzito. Nitamanage nao saizi." So now before warudi hapa juu, ningependa tuwalao wapate nafasi pale chini. Wakipata nafasi before murejee mtupate speech, muende pale chini. Because nataka sote tukuwe na energy, tukuwe na hiyo power. Sawa? So allow me please. Kuna nafasi pale, mnaweza enda kurelaxia pale. At least mkishapumzika pale, then tutaanza speeches rasmi. Sawa? Allow me please. Tafadhali. Before afike hapo, DJ, nitafutie ile best. Ili unaamini kwamba ndio poa. Usiweke Musa, ukija kwa blues, I know Musa ako good hapo. Bwana Saitoti, I know him vizuri sana. House music. Woo! Hapa kutu sawa. Madam, rumba. Sawa. DJ. Sindio? Nilikwambia ujipange. Fundi wa mitambo amesinzia, sindio? Ndio ametuanzisha hapo mwanzo. Oh. Sasa geukia tu mwenzako mwambie uko mwa.
Uko mwa.
Uko mwa. Muulize, kwani leo ulikuwa umetupangia nini? Muulize tu kwani leo ulikuwa umetupangia nini? Si ndio? Ile kitu mbaya mtu ambao ile mtu kitu mbaya mtu ana. So guys, mzingependa tukae at least tumepata kale kajua tu, ndio? Turudi back kwa Quinta, alafu Quinta atuendelezee. Sasa back to you Quinta.
Nime lose 1 kg. So, thank you guys. So we are about to start. We're actually starting. And our first speaker will be Mr. Saitoti from Delight Africa. Of it. Karibu sana, Mr. Saitoti. You lose the microphone. I don't know where the sanitizer is. Oh, there, sanitizer. Yeah, sure.
Habari yenu nyote. Okay, tumefurahi sana kuja. Kutoka college inaitwa Delight Technical College. Mmesalimika eh? Okay, wangapi hapa wanafanya biashara? How many entrepreneurs do we have or self-employed people? Mkono juu tafadhali. What is the youngest one? Naona kuna wengine wako very young eh? Okay, keep your hands up eh, especially if you know you're young. Who's the youngest? Ebu nisaidieni kuchagua. Yeah? Aya, simama. Please stand up, yeah? How old are you? 12 years, yeah? Oh, that's good. Kuna wengine, kuna... amino mkono pia. Oh. Sasa, how old is she? 4 years, yeah? Oh, thank you. Hiya. And on the other side, who thinks is the he or she is the oldest entrepreneur or self-employed person in this room right now? You? Sawa. And Miss Anne. Okay. So, for how long have you been in entrepreneurship? Since 2007, yeah? Okay. So since 2007 up to 2021, you've done several businesses. Okay, thank you. And Anne? Since? Wow, since 86. That's my year of birth. Yeah? So you can see how varied entrepreneurship can be, right? From 4 years to since 86. Okay. So you'll be 35 years into business this year. Oh, that's wonderful. Sawa. And the lady in front of Steve. Okay, since 2007, what were you doing before 2007? Okay. And what made you switch from employment to entrepreneurship or self-employment? Okay. Oh, sawa. Sawa. Thank you. So I want us to have an interactive session, right? Whereby we can share our ideas from the 4-year-old girl to everyone else in the room, okay? Okay, thank you. So I'll first start by telling you about our college, Delight Technical College. We started off in 2013 out of a need to have more entrepreneurs and self-employed people start their own businesses and be independent. And the reason we started this is because we noticed from even my personal experience, we were so many in primary school, went to secondary, went to colleges and universities, and then we came out with papers, but hakukuwa na kazi. How many of you have been in that situation? Whereby ukiwa campus or college, you're motivated, you have uncles, you have counselors, at that time you have prominent people in the family wenye wanakwambia we niletee makaratasi, si ndio? Just bring me your papers, alafu I'll get you the job. And these are the people you put as referees in your CVs, and then you come out and hakuna kazi, right? Unakosa pesa ya airtime, simu inapotea, unakosa ya kureplace, si ndio? And then I realized there are so many opportunities around us. You see, in Africa, we import a lot of things. We import finished products, we import mobile phones, and there's a huge opportunity in turning those opportunities into opportunities that where these things are made in Africa. And so we came together with my friends, and we decided to start off the college so that we can have to do a lot of mistakes and change. But here we are trying to grow the business and also grow the industry, and trying to partner with as many people as possible, and sharing the story so that you can see the fashion industry in Kenya grow. Okay, let me delve into some charity work that we do at the college. So we have this monthly initiative whereby we have our students collect the items that they've made in class, because you see, as a designer, you have to keep on doing a lot of practice, right? And before fabric is proper enough for a client, you have to have perfected the art. So we realized that we had a lot of waste, and a lot of fabric was going down the dump because it wasn't good enough for the client, but it was good enough for the underprivileged in the society to put them on. So we've been collecting these items from our designers. We also try to mobilize them to get them from their communities, from their families and friends, and then distribute them to the nearby slums around Nairobi. We also have slots for internships, whereby if a person is attending a fashion design course at a local university or college, we normally put up slots so that they can come in our college and practice and perfect their art. And thirdly, we also partner with different organizations so that we can make sure that our students have as much exposure as possible, and we can also give back to the society as frequently and as capable as we can. So let me delve into entrepreneurship, right? Or self-employment. So what do you think is the number one thing that should make you get into entrepreneurship or into business? Because you see, a lot of people have different dreams, right? Okay, I'll talk from my own personal experience and from what I've learned. Two things should drive you into business, and that is opportunity and profit. Is it possible to run a business that's not profitable, aka sustainable? Is it? Huh? It is. Okay. How? Okay. Can you please explain? Microphone, right? Okay.
An example is Uber. It's been operating for more than 10 years, and it's never been profitable.
Okay.
Neither does the CEO know when the company will ever be profitable.
Good example. Someone else with a different opinion? Remember what I said, right? Opportunity versus profit. Okay. You see, with Uber, there's the huge opportunity of growth. So the founders of the organization, that's what they're selling to the new partners who are bringing in the investment money. You see, if you are assured of profit at the end, then you have no problem investing. It's just like doing everything. Going to university, if you're doing a degree in medicine, you have no problem paying the fees, because you know after this, I'll be getting money as a consultant, as a gynecologist, dentist, so on and so forth. Right? Okay. So first of all, there's the huge need to find the opportunity, right? And if you find the opportunity, then what you need to do next is to make sure you realize, you come up with a way on how to profit from the opportunity. So how many of us are starting their businesses, or how many of us are, like we can just get a few examples of people who are already doing business? Okay, Lisa. So how did you start out? Through savings.
I was employed, so being employed, I got the
Okay.
I was able to open my own because I had the saving and I had some ideas on how I'm going to run the business.
Okay.
Yeah, and loyalty.
You had the last point.
I was loyal.
Oh, you are loyal to your boss.
Yeah, because if I'm employing somebody,
okay,
and he or she is not loyal to me, so there's no business. So for me, I need to live by example.
Okay. Thank you. So you got employed somewhere, you save, and then you started off the business, right? Okay. So let's debunk one thing, Liz. So are you registered as a business name, sole proprietor, or a limited company? You're registered as a business, yeah? Okay. And did you like have to register as a business when you started, or you just started out later, right? Okay. So the other thing is, I've realized a lot of people before they start off their businesses wanajipea kazi mingi sana. There's a lot of fear and a lot of research that you do, which is a textbook example that doesn't really exist on the ground, right? So like for her, you started making your designs, and then after a while, that's when you saw the need of registering, yeah? Okay, and that is the case that so many of us should follow, right? Or can you get your microphone, please?
Okay, what I mean is, in business, we are not sure of the outcome. So the reason that's where I didn't register the company first, I was not sure this was what I was going to do. But now later, I realized that this is now what I want.
Okay.
So I was so sure that I wouldn't change the idea later, or I open them and close the
business. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So that's an important lesson. So you saw the need of starting small and growing up from there. Okay, I'll give you some story from a mistake that we did. You see, for us, we started off as Delete Africa Limited, and it really cost us a lot of money because things to do with KRA returns. Because you see, when you're starting off the business and you've registered like a big company, yeah, you see, everybody thinks that you have to have a company for you to grow, but that's not how things work, because you have to put in the work. You see, there's no point of Liz registering a company and she's the only person doing the organization. And stories are around us of even big organizations coming down, like Tuskys came down recently, and there's so many of them, right? Big brands. So it goes back to like who is running the business and what the business is actually delivering. Okay. So for those of you who are about to start the business and maybe you're not like fully registered and compliant with everything, it's important to make sure that you do things step by step. In that you don't you don't like start your business today, you've already gone maybe and registered it as a company, and you're not compliant with things to do with KRA, NSSF, and everything. So you just need to do that step by step on need to be basis. All right. Because the moment you register in some of these organizations, then there's some payments you need to be making. You need to be making your monthly returns. If you don't, you get penalized. If you don't pay the penalty, you pay the interest. So you realize that your business has not yet broken even, but you're being owed a lot of money, and that is money you just have to pay. They say that there are two things that are certain in life, yeah? Death and taxes. So it's important when you're starting off, just play around with your customers. Don't have those big dreams until you see there's a need to like play at that league, and you're able to play at that league. And then the other thing that's common with entrepreneurship is you also need to make as many smart mistakes as possible. How many of us agree you have to make mistakes? Okay, and I'll give you an example. All organizations make mistakes. Even Safaricom make a lot of mistakes. Like remember, there's a time they launched the Prepare card, whereby you could pay a matatu using an ATM card, yeah? They did a partnership with KCB, and they ended up losing over 200 million shillings. So you see, that's a huge amount that's going to waste. And they've also had a lot of products coming up and going down, because you see, you can't know how an idea will actually work unless you try it out. So you give it to the market to get your feedback, and then now that's how you proceed. And another thing about getting the customers, you also can start small, looking from the people around you, from your family, from your friends. Make your outfits, fashion designers, try to market them on the social media, and then just get the feedback, and that's not what you will use to build yourself up, right? Okay. And there's also one thing that most people don't completely understand. Being employed and getting into entrepreneurship. You see, entrepreneurship is also not for everyone. We all understand that, right? Because it's demanding, it's tiring, it's too much work. So, but employers are also looking for very good people they can work with, employees. So there are two ways you can handle it. You can either be an entrepreneur, or you can also be an intrapreneur, in which you are employed, yes, but the work that you're doing can earn you a good pay, a good raise, all right? So that you have your boss, yes, but your boss knows how much you contribute. They're not willing to lose you, so they're paying you some good money. And you see, if you get some good money, then you're able to live a comfortable life without having to worry so much about the regulations, will my building be on fire the next day, that kind of life. But you're out there living your best life and delivering within the ecosystem of your employer. Okay. And the other thing, and how do we handle the pressures that come with entrepreneurship? What? Because you see, something like mental health, it's a very common feature in most conversations these days, right? And because just like we've said, entrepreneurship comes with a lot of pressure, it comes with its own struggles, yeah? At times things look like they're collapsing around you, maybe you've not paid rent and everything. So how are you able to manage all these pressures that come with life? You take a vacation, yeah? So it's also important to like make sure that you you do some research, and you also take some breaks, and also like listen to your body, know when you need to rest, right? Yes, and also maybe talk to people around so that you can know you're not the only one who's undergoing that. It's tough everywhere, right? You can imagine, okay, people lose, but they keep on like going on. I'll give you an example with a very popular gentleman that we know all around, yeah? Like the Kenyan former prime minister. You see, the guy has been, okay, he has lost his own, he has lost like 4 elections, yeah? But he's still here. He's never had like a heart attack after an election loss. So you see, that's a person that's an example of stamina, right? You can imagine, ni kama unaanzisha 4 different businesses, you put in a lot of money, you promise people a lot, your wife, your family, and everyone, and then it goes down. But then you bounce back and you come up with new concepts, but bado unaendelea. So, okay, it's a popular example, but that's the same case it is from out here, sindio? So unaenda kwa street kidogo, maybe you protest, and then after some time you come back to the government and you do things a bit different, right? Okay. I need a water break. So, do you have any questions so far? You see, from my point, from where I stand, I'm not more of a front office person, right? I do things at the back office. So, at times we do have a lot of experience, but we also need questions and answers in order to like share the experience and the expertise that we've earned. So does anyone have a question about maybe a particular business or entrepreneurship or doing business in general?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brenda, and I wanted to ask, you said you faced a lot of challenges in the beginning. Could you maybe list a few of these challenges and how you went about handling them?
Okay. The main challenge is, in 2013, our business was, we were doing a printing business. So we were doing printing as a service and selling printers as well. So the business was booming, and then we thought we need to expand and open branches all over East Africa. So we approached National Bank and we secured a loan of 5.4 million using collateral from my parents' property. And within 3 months, the loan was not performing, and the bank needed the money, and they were threatening to like sell our parents' land to get the money back. So it was a tough time, but we came out better and smarter. So how many of us have taken loans for business? Nazimewapeleka aje? Yeah? Pauline. Okay, Pauline took a loan, yeah? Could you share your example with us, please? Mike? Mike, Pauline.
Hi. It's on, eh?
It's on. Is it?
I don't know.
It's not.
Yeah,
It is.
it is. I think it was the year 2009. I had just started a fashion business where I was sourcing new clothes from Uganda. And business was good. I felt, wow, made it. And these guys from Kenya Women walked into my shop and they convinced me to take a loan for 100,000. And I was like, oh, this is good. You mean at my age, I was in my early 20s. So I was like, yeah, at my age, I can actually start getting loans. So I signed up, and the collateral was my household items. And I was supposed to pay 10,000. So it wasn't bad. The first 1, 2, 3, but from the 4th month, I started training, and I remember I paid for 8 months. Then I was not able to pay from the 8th month. And things just went down and went south that before the 12 months were over, I didn't even have a cup and a spoon. I only had the clothes I had, as in all I had was clothes. So I lost my electronics, seats, everything. And it was such a bad thing. It was such a bad experience for me. It took me I have never recovered. I've not even taken another loan ever since. Yes, that was my experience.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pauline. You see, the thing about entrepreneurship and business that most of all don't get to know is the failures. Sawa. A lot of people out here, they're running big businesses. But what they never tell you is that the failures that they went through. Sasa where you start your business out there, and then you are failing, but unaanza kufikiria you're the only one failing. But it's everyone. Everybody failed. It's only that they failed so many times. Of course, if you fail more, you get to learn more. Less mistakes, better products, right? And so you end up making more profit. So I would wish to dedicate the remaining few minutes of my time for the entrepreneurs in the room and business people to share the mistakes that they've made in their businesses, in their personal lives, so that we can share and get to learn and avoid repeating the same in future. Because at the moment, Kenya is a society obsessed with success, right? Everybody, social media, everyone wants to show you how they've made it, yeah? But they don't want to tell you, like, at what time they woke up, what mistakes they've done. And the only people so far that we've seen share publicly are those that want some sympathy from the public, right? Sindio? But most people, I think it's a brand thing or something, they never want to share. But sharing your losses is something that we should continuously do so that you can also motivate those people who are building up to know that it's not only happening to them. I'll give you another example. You see, when we were starting with the business, I started the business from my hostel in at college where I was. So we were producing movies and DVDs. Yeah, remember, like 5 years back, hakukuwa na Netflix and internet, sindio? So one important thing that I did, I started the business in my hostel. So nimekomboa hostel, but I'm in there, nafanya biashara zangu, naenda nauza. And that's a good example, because you see, if you start your business with very high capital, then chances are it may fall. And if it falls, then the fall will be, it will hit you hard. Sindio? So most of other entrepreneurs, they prefer lazima kuwe na duka mahali, brand, ulipe health, ulipe insurance, all those things, yeah? So that you start business. But can't you start a business from another angle, whereby you're not spending a lot, you're not working a lot, unaanza tu kwa nyumba na nina grow? That can work, sindio? Okay, is someone else willing to share their mistakes? Yes, please. Can you give the microphone, please? It's on.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We are sorry a bit we came late. We are sorting out some clients. We are from Mombasa, me and my colleague Oli.
Thank you.
That's a good forum to be. And I wish I was earlier here, because I really have something to share with the young people.
Okay.
Me have been there quite a long time. Lucky enough, I'm a student designer, my teacher. My former teacher in Nairobi, some years back. But now, there is something I would wish to share and not go with it out of this forum. there is something, and I don't know whether I've had it anywhere in any institution being used and firmly insisted on. Something, one word called saving. Just one word called
Saving.
Because me, I'm a product of saving. Me, I really can't tell much about the loans and the stuff because I don't go for them, not unless it's really necessary. But what I've got myself into after saving a lot is wonderful.
Okay.
It has been a wonderful journey. Because me, I remember, in a summary now, I've come from a middle-aged family, but no education. My dad and mom hustlers in Naivasha. But funny enough, I was able to get a peanut earning job, and I didn't see the job peanut. I was very young, 20 years, I was already employed in a multinational company. But one thing I did from day one, I saved. That time I remember the circles thing which go round is what I used.
Okay.
Then it was the only facility. It was Kitamboni something. So what I did, I continuously every month did my savings. I didn't want to spend much because I knew my life is so bright. I don't know where I'm going. So much of my income, I directed my own income to saving alone. I could only eat, shower, do mtumba for 3 years until my 23rd birthday. 24th, in fact, we even disagreed with my mother because I resigned from the company because it was not satisfying me. The career was not. I was in horticulture by then before I came to fashion design.
Okay.
So since I had seen something which gave me a limelight of fashion designing, I desired, if that which is worn by that lady is a designer thing, I want to go there. But now the journey is too long because I'm in a small town. Nothing has ever been heard about me as a designer. Me, I know dressmakers locally. They do makaratasi and that kind of thing. So me, I wanted that notch higher, designing. I'm employed. I was a good one in school. I'm employed by a multinational company because I fought for that position to get it. Because most of the ones who work in Philippines, currently for university, they didn't get jobs. I was among the lucky 3 or 4 who got jobs because I had done my attachments in those companies. So next, what I did is every coin I saved for 3 good years salvaged my next career. I didn't know when I was doing it, but it did miracles. Because me, when I went in Nairobi looking for a fashion designing college, the amount which I had saved was equivalent to 1 year payment of fashion designing by then. There were 3 only in Nairobi: Woodgrove, Fashion College, and Evelyn College. So I was able to secure my position in one of the colleges, even without the assistance of auntie, uncle, mother, daddy, no. Because nobody is learned. By then, most of our parents were blank about education. So if I'm changing career to horticulture, from horticulture to fashion designing, nobody is there to assist me. So when I jumped there, I went to one of the colleges courageously. I walked in, I asked her, give me the brochure of the free balances or free protocol, whatever it is. I could pay for myself 1 year. Now after 1 year is when I convinced my parents to come in and assist me to again designing and what to do. So with that thing, what I would say, and from there now again, I save for my business. Because again, I'll come out of home. My parents are trained. There's no government funding. My dear sisters and brothers, that time there's no funding from the government of state. They don't even know whether you are class. It's Moyera. So what I did, nobody to assist you. You have to breathe the future. Again, I had to save. Saving from where? My teacher here, you are in some school, people are driving as you come with matatu. So what you do, that is a rich man's skill. Me, I'm from a poor family. How do I get that money from that pocket? I have not stolen. I did a lot of work to make sure their pocket money half. So how I was able to fund myself halfway the college after the second year, now it was a 3-year course. The first year is gone, my savings are drained. I've closed my backless bank account. Now the second year and the third year, what do I have to do? The second year now I have to start getting pocket money and really quickly to fund my project, my sustain us in Nairobi so that I survive. And I don't do prostitution, anything immoral, and I don't. So what I used to do, sorry teacher, I could even do homework for the rich men's kids who don't want to do the homework. In fact, there's a time I could enter the college with 30 shillings and come out with 1,000. But then it was a lot of money. That thing I cannot do without.
Unaingia na 30 bob unatoka na 1,000.
Yeah.
That time, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, if you want me to do your homework, you have to pay up.
Okay.
Because you unaita command kwa tayari.
Na sasa wewe ukimaliza shule you'll be more experienced.
Yeah. Some 3 more people will do their homework.
Okay.
On top of it, public, the entire river road. Rich people
Don't go to River Road.
Yeah, they don't go.
Okay.
In fact, they go Biashara Street, so me I go River Road.
River Road, yeah.
So River Road, I go my bag always to zip, buttons, materials, whatever, lining, everything. When I come to college, they look for me. Sarah, somewhere around the corner, they come with money, cash.
Okay.
They don't know what I'm going through. I'm really eyeing that I get this for benefit of the
Okay.
So with that one, I made sure the rich people, they are not affected my life because they have a less standard of living, but I'm earning money from their pocket. The pocket, God forbid, is where it may be a government coffers. If it comes near me, I'll make sure it's in me. Me, I didn't steal.
Oh, you didn't steal.
They were stolen, I don't care.
Okay.
But saving has made me come to a neighbor. Even my card, the fact I've done saving.
Yeah. Okay.
So, another thing also, the designers who are here.
Okay.
We are only energetic up to a certain age. Then we start going elderhood, nothing much. So, the same culture of saving will make you achieve so much for your future. Because even if you need to invest, you have to save. Saving has not been told to the young people, and it's very sad. Yeah, they don't know that they can save their income. They don't know they can save their whatever they've earned from the customers we have. You get today, spend your 300 shillings as usual. The rest 8,000 you got today, put it in the bank or put it in an insurance and save it there. Until at a date, you'll have a budget for something tangible and then control the people who have been there ahead of you. Whether it's an individual, it's a company or consultancy. Whatever they do with their money, when you earn, like you play a chama, you get like 500,000. What do you do with it? Plots are being sold, I don't know in target. This year, if they are selling at 400, next year they'll be selling at 800. Catch up viewers before it goes. So me, I'm a product of Uber, and people who are willing to help the young people on something called saving and using and utilizing your money properly. That is the only way you'll be able to achieve where you are living. Because there are so many young people like me, I'm near this things which are being done here in town. But some of these guys, you ask them politely, how much do you earn? You can go home with 10,000. But tomorrow, wameenda out. You go out, spend all that 10K. It was not a grant. It was a hard-earned money. Nobody has told you that you're supposed to keep aside 5,000 or 3,000, which is very dangerous. Because later, utakuja hapa kutuambia, sijui I have a medical bill. But did you tell us the vacuum, where that space, that gap? You didn't tell us what you used with your income the time you are a celeb. So one thing, young people, please tone down. No saving can take you so much and so many places, and don't wait for people to salvage. In brief.
So,
thank you so much.
Nani walilipa, nani wametumia pesa kuja mpaka hapa? Kulipa entrance ama kupanda gari kuja na Uber? Nani? Sote, ndio. From that talk, pesa yako imerudi ama haijarudi? From what has just been shared to us, imerudi ama haijarudi? Okay, there's a guy mwenye alikuwa anakunywa also William Lawson kila weekend eh? Sasa akasema hii mwaka atakuwa tu na save. Kila weekend ikifika hiyo pesa niweka kwa mkebe fulani. Sasa juzi alienda kuhesabu alikuwa na over 30,000 ame save. That's an example, because you see the key lessons coming out is make sure una save. Si ndio? Because you never know when the day will be rainy. Save leo, utaitumia, you are sure of using it in future, because you can't compare savings and loan. Loan unanyanyaswa, si ndio? Unachukua 300,000 at your Equity Bank, you pay back 360,000. Sindio? Kuna insurance fee, kuna processing fee, kuna tip ya banka. Sawa. And you're not even sure about the business. You can imagine kama ulikuwa umechukua biashara and then corona happens. Like for us, I'll give an example. For us at school, we decided to get a bigger room so that we can accommodate more students at the beginning of 2020. And then so tumechukua room, tumelipa rent, tumelipa deposit, and then corona may happen. President Uhuru amesema shule zinafungwa on 28th of March. So we had to close. But tukajiuliza, should we keep the school closed or should we like rudisha your space to the landlord and then tumwambie we just want to come back to where we were? But we decided no. So we had to innovate and started making masks last year. So kakidogo tukaanza tena kupata orders of masks. So tuli change with the time. So we were making a lot of masks, getting orders, and guess who are making the masks for us? It's our students. So tuliwaita tukawaambia kujeni, hii corona yaileki sana but itakakaa kidogo. So instead of us staying at home shocked, tunafuata news. Leo ni wangapi? Curfew initially, you need to be making money to proceed. And so that's our story of how we survived COVID. So thank you very much about not blowing your money. Kama vijana wanatengeneza kucha, most of them maybe hawana banking, hawana savings. And it's even for our situation, when we were starting off the organizations, we were also making some money. And the lesson that we learned is that you need to save and live below your means so that you can at least make sure a minimum, you save a minimum of 30% of your monthly income as savings, because you never know about the future. Because all of us, the room is filled of people can share with us examples of people who've made crazy amounts of money, but then 3-4 years down the line, imeisha. Sindio? Okay. So someone else who's willing to share a tip or two about maybe their failures, about the lessons that they've learned about entrepreneurship? Madam Anne, something to share? You'll share it when you come here, right? Okay. So does anyone else have a question? Okay, or a comment to make?
I have a question.
Oh, yes, please.
With fashion design, it calls for a lot of skills. So you may have students who are good at the creative side, but they are not good at the marketing side. So as a school, what do you do to help such students to still have products and still have clients? Okay.
So what you do with such students is we try to expose them to as many people in business as possible. We have entrepreneurs and fashion designers come to the school to talk to them. We have opportunities for internships, which we normally share with our students, and whoever is interested, they normally go to them.
Okay, thank you.
You had a question? Oh, it is sorted out, yeah? Okay. You see, from most of the fashion designers around, even in Nairobi and many other places, they've perfected the art of marketing their products. They're not so good at fashion design at the product development phase, but they're good at reaching out to the masses. They do very good photo shoots and everything, and they're able to sell their products. So we encourage our students to have basic things like social media, share your work. We normally take photos of their outfits and ask them to share with their networks, because you never know who your next customer will be. And from the way we've observed in most businesses, when you're starting out something, you normally get business from those around you. It could be your parents, it could be your friends. So as the circle goes wider, so does the amount of money and the amount of businesses you're making.
All right, my last question, because Delight Africa is a fashion school, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So I'm sure we have upcoming designers in the house.
Yes.
And they may want to know what are the requirements, how is school fees, what are the requirements, and how much is school fees, and so where can they get you?
Okay. At the moment, you're only based in Nairobi, but you also have online classes. Our school fees is 9,500 per month. And we're not very keen on your KCSE grade, because we believe that fashion should be a passion, and nobody should really put barriers into the career that you want to pursue. So we normally take students as young as 9 years old, yes, to as old as retirees who are 60, 65 years old. Okay. Yes, please. We are winding up, yeah?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Robert. I'm one of the co-founders of Rocker Designs. My colleague is seated right here. Can wave. It's John Kamau. Yeah, okay. I wanted to share something small about our business. Maybe the mistakes that we did. We started this business last year.
Okay.
This came as an idea. We started recycling redundant billboards and banners. Those you're seeing right there to make bags, like what I'm carrying here.
Okay. Oh, it's made from recycled banners.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So
good.
we had this idea, but we didn't know how to make the bags because we were not designers. So actually, I'm learning a lot from this forum because that has been the major challenge that we're facing. We have orders, but sometimes we can't deliver in time because we don't have enough resource. Yeah, the other thing, mistake that we did since we are starting, we are giving out a lot of discounts. Let me remove the mask, sorry.
Okay.
We are doing a lot of discounts to people, at least to make sure we are known and all that. But I can say last year it was a bad experience because before we could start seeing our returns, Corona happened, so we couldn't actually get our returns back. So out of this forum, I'm expecting also to learn more on this because we have started learning the art of sewing. Never in my life would I thought I'll be in a cherani na kushona because I'm a researcher, but it's because of the passion of the idea. That's when we decided now to dive into designing and making these bags.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for that question. I really wanted to get a feedback on that, and maybe if you can have any other programs of such here in Mombasa, so at least you can see our team getting more manpower.
Okay.
So my other colleagues are right there. You can wave your hands. There's Choka and Gloria.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, I always urge entrepreneurs to sell your product at the highest possible price. Sindio? Because let me give you an example. Kama mimi natengeneza kiti na wewe unatengeneza kiti, yangu mimi nauza 5,000, alafu wewe unahurumia customers wako unauzia na 3,000, sindio? So by the end of the day, if I sell 2 seats and you sell one, who will have made much more money? Mimi nauza 5,000, wewe unauza 3,000. Same product, I'll have made more, sindio? Sasa by me making more, I'm able to get more space, put more money in product development and grow faster, sindio? So, and that's how business should be. The issue of underpricing your product comes back to eat you because you won't be able to grow. You won't be motivated enough to pay your employees well, run your costs, and it's detrimental to your business. And there's also this thing of other businesses coming up and copying what you're doing. I don't find it sustainable because I'll give you an example. You see, like with Uber, Uber has been in operation for quite some time now. And a lot of other small businesses have come up with a lot of fancy names. Kila mtu anatengeneza app anakuja anailaunch. That's expected. But you see, the mistake that Uber has never made is to lower the standards to compete with these incoming apps. Because they normally come in, wanapeana crazy discounts, their money burns out. They collapse. Uber wanaendelea, they focus more on product development and customer satisfaction. Okay. Closely.
Okay, I had spoken, my name was Brenda, and mine is just a comment or a word of encouragement. I'm a fashion designer, passionate about fashion, and who knows the Nike slogan?
Let's do it.
The Nike slogan is
Oh.
just do it. So I remember for a long period of time, I had the idea of starting a fashion school, and I kept saying that I don't have funds. But I thank God for Corona. I know it's a very weird thing to say, but during that period, I sort of was laid out of work. There was no job, and I decided to start to venture into fashion. So I worked from home and was making outfits to sell. And then later on, I picked up the idea, which I've always had at the back of my mind, of starting a fashion school. So when Mr. Saito here was talking about just making use of the resources that you have, I'm the person who actually did that. As I'm speaking today, I ran a fashion school in my house.
Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful.
Yes, so I started it on January 12th, and today is March 10th. Yes, I currently have 10 students, and I'm now thinking of expanding and now registering the whole business and doing all that is required to register an institution in Kenya. So the whole message here is just start from wherever you are. Of course, the fear is always what if I borrow? What if I fail? But remember, the moment you fail, you're now starting from a point of knowledge. So I encourage you all to just start and do what everybody else does. believe in me, along the way, you will eventually find your place in this target. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah? So they say every cloud has a silver lining, yeah? So with every disaster that you encounter, there's also an equal or even a bigger room for opportunity. And so unaweza kuwa umevutwa job, ulikuwa unafanya kazi hoteli, unatoka kidogo, you start on, maybe you develop your hotel, now it comes out and it comes to be something very big, yeah? Okay. Oh, congratulations. Okay, I'm sure most people in your situation would have been in a terrible fix, yeah? Because the amount of fear that such destabilization brings in their life. Okay, so thank you. Do you have any other person, maybe the comment, question, something? Yes, please.
Yeah, mine is much more of a comment, especially in this season where you're noticing there's a Me Too kind of thing, where you because he's designing nice suits, I decided to do nice suits.
Thank you.
My advice on entrepreneurship is do you, just do you. I'm not a fashion designer, funny enough. I am actually a writer, so I'm here actually to gather information.
Okay.
Why I say do you is because I've been in 3 different businesses, and each one of them I was doing someone else. And until you know yourself, to know what you're able to take, you will never be able to succeed in any business you do. So I was in a cyber cafe. It failed because I'm actually trained in IT. And then from there, I started a Duka, tax shop where you sell mkate and stuff. It failed. Reason being, that is not me. I am a writer. I've been writing. I said actually my first article was when I was 7 years old. So I was asking, like, what the heck am I doing in all these other fields when actually I'm a writer? I work from home since actually as early as my first book in 2010. In all these seasons, what I've noticed is the minute you start doing it doesn't matter whether you're making money yet. The most important thing is that, number one, you know where you're going. And the minute you do no matter what comes your way. I have failed so many times. I've written proposals and I failed sometimes. But because I knew where I was heading and I was doing what I wanted, it propelled me forward. Today I can tell you I have international clients. It makes more sense when you stick to what you know and don't worry what the other person is doing. If you can't do nice suits, don't worry about the suit. If you can only do a coffee, do the coffee. Because I can assure you, no matter where you go, someone needs you. So just do you, someone actually needs you. And then work towards every day, make sure that someone is seeing your work. And that will take you further than anything else. So if you're not in fashion and you want to get in, what is it that you want to do? Handkerchiefs? Go ahead. Maybe he can help you design nice handkerchiefs. I don't know. Yeah, just do you.
And of course, Kenya imports all handkerchiefs from China. Funny enough, yeah? Except yours. Oh, you made it? Oh, thank you. That's the right direction. Probably you can think of making more and maybe selling them, because I'm sure so many people will want to promote your business. One, because it's not expensive buying a handkerchief. And secondly, they're also promoting you and promoting a local business. Who knows, maybe you could be the next big manufacturer of handkerchiefs around, yeah? Yeah, some things import from other countries. Okay, it's only that maybe me as a person or like entrepreneurship in this country or those in this room can't do everything, yeah? To import toothpick, matchbox, very basic stuff. And then we're out there talking about the big 4. We can't, Cindy. Because that's why I was talking to someone, I think it's Anne, and she was telling me she was working with the export processing zone. And you see, if you go to the offices, they normally deal with what Kenya exports. Tea, horticulture, coffee, those things, because that's what we are known for. Easy vitu zingine, there's still much room for improvement. So, and how many of us harness the power of social media, the designers in the house? Because you see, the thing is not having a Facebook page. The thing is, what are you doing on your Facebook page? Are you giving your clients offers? How much of your work are you posting, right? And because you also need to be active, you see, you have to put hours before now you start like reaping the results, ndio? So si ati kwambia mtu unakuanga na social media account, then you last activated it in 2018. So at times unatengeneza very good products, unapelekea client, alafu una picha, si ndio? Make it easy for your customers. Mtu akienda aseme nataka nguo lakini sijui nataka design gani. Zenye umetengeneza and you know how to make them very quickly. That's what you take good photos of, and then you show your customers, unaambia choose from these. Because you're the expert, and that's why they're there for you. That's like going to a doctor, alafu daktari, you tell him the symptoms, and then the doctor asks you, unaona tukupee dawa gani, si ndio? So it should be the other way around. And just like we've been told, it's very important to be creative and do you, because you see, entrepreneurship is it's a creative journey, and you are the original, and nobody in this world is like you. And for billions of years to come, there won't be another you around, right? So it's very important to make sure, don't be a copycat, yeah? Because I'll give an example. I told you some time back when we took the bank loan, we were trying to copy another business, basically. Because some guy, when he was making a lot of money, and so we thought that if you can copy what he's doing, we'll also make equivalent amounts of cash. Unfortunately, it didn't work out because tulianza ku undercut, we were selling at lower prices than him, and we were on loan, so we were not able. You can imagine, yeye hana loan anauza higher, na sisi tuko na loan tunauza cheaper. So who makes more money? Sini yeye. So na yeye akona customers, he has the product knowledge, so on and so forth. So I realized it's better just move according to your path, according to intuition. Just do things zenye unaona zina make sense to you. Don't be intimidated by your competition. Work on yourself and the future will be guaranteed. Okay. At this juncture, I would want to introduce the designers that we came with. I'll start from this side. Sony.
Just 1 minute.
Okay. So, last question. So, thank you.
Hi. My name is Wilkista Akol. I'm self-employed. I offer catering services, and I'm currently a student fashion designing. My question is, as a fashion designer, is it okay to tell your client that this design I cannot do? Is it okay? I live every day that coming. So maybe a client may come to you with a certain design that you have not done before. Is it okay to tell that client this one? What
if ukifanya hivi, you get the design and then you take it to someone who can do it, add your margins, alafu mrudishie as a finished product? Because you see, I've worked with people, I'll give you, it's okay, can't name names because we are on video, but I know of these big people on social media, these big designers in Nairobi, hawajui kushona, hawajui kabisa. But ukienda social media, akona 300,000 followers, ye kazi yake anaenda anafanya shoot, anatengeneza nguo supu sana, anaziweka, analipia sponsored adverts, and then sasa akipata job ndio anapeleka kwa designers, wanamshonea, una add your margin. It's once you
you promise, like Haley comes to me and tells me, I want you to make this particular dress, and I tell her I can actually deliver, yeah, and then I take the fabric and I take it to someone else and I come tell Haley I made this. Is that ethically proper?
It depends on how you're using the words, because you see, unaenda pale as a fashion house. Kama sasa mimi mtu akikuja niambia Saitoti, utanifundisha fashion design, nitamwambia personally tuko na shule inaitwa Delay Technical College, unaweza ndo usome hapo. So you see, you're working with other people. Si mimi nitatengeneza, but ni sisi tumetengeneza. Tukimtengenezea, will I benefit or not? Ni kama tu unakuwa broker. A lot of people want to make money from being brokers. Hii nguo unaweza kutengenezea. Alafu a lot of people also make small money being experts. Because yeye amekaa pale maybe kwa shop yake, hana time ya kufanya marketing. You know, experts also lose out a lot of money. Because I know of a designer in Nairobi, he makes very nice shirts, but he's always swamped with work. Hana time ya kumarket. Social media alipost 2017, hana time because akona orders hivi watu wanamgoja. So some smart guy who anachukua orders, anampelekea, anatengeneza, yeye anaenda kuuza. So he's always smart in town, making a lot of money, but hashoni na afanyi kazi yote. Yeye anampelekea orders, measurements nini, anatoka.
In which case then, once you're like, if you're doing this outsourcing, like if someone does come and give you a design, you have to be really smart with the calculation of the production fee.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like my basic thing is, once you're projecting and you're telling someone I can deliver on this, be very smart about the production fee, because then utaenda loss. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you know, sasa she's an upcoming expert in your area.
That's the thing.
So at least she can throw in a word or two as she continues the fashion design course. Sasa by the time anamaliza ni expert pia. So you know how to take measurements, suggest the designs, approximate the material costing, sindio? You know that, yeah? Okay, thank you. And also when you're starting out, be very cautious about pricing, eh? So that usikuwa unafanya kazi for the sake of learning, you also learn and you make some money, so that you sustain yourself, and that's the only way that things go around. You remember when Bob Colima was coming in to replace Michael Joseph for as Safaricom CEO, Michael Joseph was charging us 3 shillings per minute, yeah? Zile prepaid. But when Bob Colima came, alisema that business is not sustainable, and the first thing he did when he got into office, aliongeza hiyo rate to 4 shillings per minute. Because he needed shareholders to be happy, everyone to be happy. He needed to invest in 4G, so on and so forth. So make sure you are charging appropriately so that you live a comfortable life. You're able to grow your business, because if you're not growing, then you're not moving fast enough. Okay. Yes, please. Top up. Do you have much time left?
Okay,
no.
Maybe to summarize what our student is saying there, I did it also when I was a student. I did a lot of business when I was still in class. After, in fact, the first year I started. So by the end of the 3-year course, I was already out and good. So what I can advise any student who is taking up the business is, in case you find a challenging issue, maybe later, especially these internet things, you know well you can consult. One thing, don't keep quiet. Don't be in a cocoon of yourself. Consult widely. Do work with the other designers. Like me, I'm in Mombasa, but a lot I do with designers, fellow designers in Nairobi. So what you do, when you have brought a photo and it has hit you just mara moja and somebody wants a quotation, tell him, let me get to the shops of those things, I get current price of this thing, then I'll get back to you, get the contact. Then go consult, get the right figure, so that you don't underquote and you don't overquote. Then when you get it from the other fellow designers, give it out. Then you'll know, even if it comes raining hard on me, I'll use the other 2 designers, and then I complete the job and I give it out in perfection.
Okay.
Yes. Even if it means going back to the institution, the teachers you dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah. That is why you need to respect everybody who is on the board.
Okay.
Yes. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
But don't leave it. Usiache kazi.
Usiwache kazi. And then you see, the other thing,
I was a student and I was bold enough not to leave any. I get to my teacher and give a quotation. And
then again, it's also a matter to do with the machines that you have. At times you may be having just the basic sewing machines. Hauna machine is afanya more advanced work, yeah? And so definitely you have to work with other designers to help you finish the product. Okay. So, yes, please. Can we have the microphone?
My name is Effie. So I'm asking if you've started and the business is picking up, yeah? When is it okay to now bring in other, like the fundis?
When you started the business and it's picking up, when is it okay to bring in? Yeah.
So when is it okay to bring in
to bring in like a permanent fundi and everything? Okay. First of all, I think before you bring in a permanent fundi, one thing you should consider is outsourcing your work, because outsourcing it's a game changer and it saves you a lot. So if you can get someone who has their own place, their own machine, unawapelekea, so you pay them piecework, yeah? And then you make sure you run on that model so that you make sure your orders are sustainable. You're able to calculate how much you project to earn in a month. And then at that stage now you can consider getting in a tailor in your premises. Because you have to vary the cost. You know, if you bring in a fundi, hapo utahitaji several things. You need a new machine. Utakuwa unamlipia rent your space kila mwezi. Utakuwa unamlipia so ukifanya annual month unamlipa rent per month. That's guaranteed. Kama amefanya kazi hajafanya, unalipa stima, unampea space, unakosa freedom ya your own space in your own shop, that kind of thing. Okay.
Okay, excuse me. Tafadhali. Najua tunaweza kuwa na maswali mingi zaidi, lakini it's just a humble request. Sawa, unaweza note chini hiyo question yako. The moment panel watakuwa wameenda pale, wataanza kuzijibu tu pole pole. Sawa? So saizi naona watu kwa hizi kidogo wameboeka. So Mr. after umemaliza,
okay,
kidogo tutaweza kusimama after Mr. akuwa amemaliza.
Okay. Sawa. Last one. Ama imejibiwa? Okay. Muulize tu ya mwisho alafu tufunge.
Majina naitwa Lona kutoka Spirit Family. Mimi huwa natengeneza domat lakini design zebra. Lakini nimejaribu kujimarket sioni.
Umejaribu kujimarket lakini hujapata matokeo. Haya, sawa. Tunaweza onana after hii session, alafu tunaweza ongea have one on one tuone venye unaweza market kazi yako, si ndio? Ili upate wateja. Okay. So, thank you very much everybody. We could have had this another way of ningekuja na slides tufanye presentation and everything, but we decided to have one on one so that we can have us share our experience, because you see entrepreneurship is a creative process and we also need to get to hear and learn from one another as much as we can. So lastly, let me just introduce the designers that we came from, who've gone through Delay Technical College. I'll start with Sony, if you can just wave. Okay. Liz.
Kindly stand with CU and the designs you're wearing.
Okay.
Yes.
Makofi tafadhali. Asante.
Thank you. We have Liz. Elizabeth.
Makofi tena.
Are you guys sing? Kindly come.
Oh.
The two of you. Wow.
So thank you. Can we give them like 5 seconds to tell us their brand name?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
And the style they're wearing.
And the style they're wearing.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Naitwa Sony, brand Zemaya Collection. The dress I'm wearing, it's a mermaid dress and I made it.
Wow, beautiful.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Liz from Zals_collections_254. I made the dress. It's a bodycon with a side slit.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Sony, please. Hi.
Hi.
Pauline.
Kindly come.
If you can, please. Sir. Steve. Lastly. Okay. So, Sony.
Okay, hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Moafrik, and it's just a simple design, and yeah, you can find me in Instagram Moafrik.
All right, thank you. So what's the name?
Sorry?
What's the name of the outfit?
Okay, it's just like a yeah. Raffle dress.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Steven Kagera, CEO Hebrews Fashion Line. Right. And yangu nimechanganya tu kila kitu ikakuwa pamoja.
Sawa,
I'm a stylist and I'm a fashion designer.
Right.
So I mix everything, kila kitu mahali itaingiana. Yeah, my page Hebrews Fashion Line pale Facebook, pia Instagram Hebrews Fashion Line. Thank you.
You're welcome. Karibu sana.
Hi guys.
Hello.
I'm Pauline. My designs are called Carved by Paulina Daniels. You can find me on Facebook. What I'm wearing is a one-hand top that I really like. It hugs my calves nicely. So if you're having challenges with a plus size, come to me. I'll let my machine make love to your client's fabric.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you.
In case you're wondering, hao wenyewe ndio wamejitengenezea hizo nguo zote. Sony, when did you make yours? Juzi or yesterday? Juzi. Sawa. Okay, sawa. Thank you very much.
So are they from Mombasa ama mmetoka Nairobi wote?
Wametoka Nairobi.
Okay.
Should we have a branch of our college here in Mombasa?
Definitely.
What do you guys think?
Definitely.
We should, yeah?
Yeah.
Tuweke wapi? Mtwapa is not in Mombasa, or Nyali. Yeah? Ama town probably, yeah?
Accessible.
Aya, sawa.
Yeah.
So we are very grateful for Juwa Workshop. Ametupa platform. We've come here and we're also hanging around so that we can also get to interact with you and learn as much as possible. So thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saitoti.
Tumpigeni makofi nzuri jamani. Kitu cha kwanza nimefurahia venye watu wana interact hapa hivi, watu wanauliza maswali. Alafu kitu kingine kizuri zaidi ambacho kimenifanya nikafurahia, naona daktari wa muziki uko pale, bwana Liniam. Jamani, tumpigeni makofi, ameweza kufika. Karibu sana ndugu yangu, karibu sana. So saizi inakuwa ni rahisi sana, tumekaa sana mpaka kiti inalalamika, si ndio? Hebu tusimame tuweze kidogo tufanye kiuno kifanye tu katang. Si ndio? So tunachukua, tunaweka, alafu sawa?
Sawa kabisa.
Kidogo tu alafu tuweze kumkaribisha speaker wetu wa pili, tuweze kuendelea. Fundo tuweze kukaribisha our next speaker tafadhali. Quinta.
Our second speaker will be the one and only Madam Messi, Anne Messi. Let's clap for her as she takes on the stage.
Minutes, and then we'll have how many minutes? Hey, there's a minute. Okay, so.
I bet it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Designers, I thank you so much. I thank Juwa, and I thank Alliance Française for hosting us here today. My name is Anne Messi. Anne Messi, Messi is my name. It's a coast name, and it's spelled like Messi the footballer. So many people call me Messi, but it's not Messi, it is Anne Messi. Our company is called Messi Enterprises, and we are here today to tell you some few works we've done since 1986. I went to Evelyn College of Design in 1990. I'm even forgetting, It's menopause. I went to Evelyn College in 1984 and 85, straight after Form 4. The challenges when I was in, when we were in college, we were taught a lot of theory. After leaving college, we thought we were designers because we were in Evelyn College of Design. It was the only college of design in East and Central Africa at that time. It was the most expensive college. So we thought, now that we've gone to Evelyn College, when we leave, we'll be the top designers in Kenya. So when we left Evelyn's, shock on us. First of all, companies, Rivertex started closing down, and then there was Mutumba influx. It was very challenging. You could not even get a job. So most of us diverted. Some of us went to modeling. Some of us went to to being air hostesses. And everybody just chose, very few of us remained in design because it was a bit challenging. And when you start opening shop, everybody looks at you as a tailor. They didn't know anything about fashion designers. And when we were in college, we were taught about made to measure. Made to measure is a very high class in French, in America. Made to measure is the most expensive tailoring you can do, because you don't buy it from the shop. When you go and buy clothes from the shop, it's cheaper than when you go to a tailor and get it done. So us guys were like hot couture designers, shock on us. So we had to start our own businesses. And when we started, we had a lot of challenges. We didn't have raw materials. And fine, we ventured into other things. Meanwhile, we were doing fashion designing. It's not like now when it's a bit open and it's a bit flexible. When I was in college, I specialized in textile designing. Textile designing meaning you take a fabric, okay, it's from a fiber, yarn, and then into a fabric. So from the fabric, it's plain and you have to do maybe tie and dye. You do spray wax, you do printing. So then when we started doing that, I was also a printer. While I was in college, as a certain lady is talking about, I used to do homework for people. Okay, it's wrong, but you're getting pocket money. These guys are from rich families. They don't care about learning. They just want to graduate. So you do their homework. So I learned a lot because I used to practice in school to design and work on a lot of fabrics. So when I left Evelyn's, I was very creative. So many companies asked for me to go and do their design because I was good in drafting, I was good in textiles. So I would go and do their printing. Soon or later, I joined some guys who are from University of Nairobi. There were 3 of them, and we started doing printing with them. And believe it or not, I did YK92. YK92. How many people remember YK92? I think it's only Saitoti and somebody else. We did t-shirts for YK92, and we did the elections of 1992. I was a printer then. I was the only lady who was in that field doing printing, and I made some good money. While I was doing that, there's a guy who has a challenge in making bags. I was making bags in 1993. The same bag you're asking. And these are some of our products. This is leather. This is tie and dye, done by some of the boys I trained. I'll tell you about it. And jeans and leather. And it has been like this for the last 5 years, and I always carry my bag. And I'm proud of it. And it went to Birmingham and came back. It was in Birmingham, So in 1993, I joined the boys at the ghetto. While I was still working, I joined the boys in the ghetto in Mathare. And I started training them. They were ex-convicts. And some of them were wale wakutia watu ngeta. And I told them, they wanted to reform. So I told them, I can train you, you can become designers, and you don't have to go to a college where you're going to write on the board. So I started by training them slowly into doing tie and dyes, doing macrame, and batik, and printing. And these guys, we started in 1993, and in July, we had a fashion show in New Stanley, sponsored by Rotary Club of Nairobi, and I was a Rotaractor then. You can imagine, guys who have never been to school, and they had a fashion show then. Some of you are not born, and we had a fashion show with boys who have never attended school. That's why I advocate. Okay, I'm a boy child advocate. I can see Action Aid is girls for girls. I'm boys for boys, but but of late I've started girls also, and I like it. But boys for boys, cause where do our boys go to? If we don't train the boys with skills, where do they go to? So that's what we're doing. So when we finished with the boys at the ghetto, we were with them for 4 years. The same boys are now training in the refugee camps. The same boys were taken by Nation newspaper. Some of them went there to design. Some of them are training and they are exporting in Spain, because the Catholic Church of Kariobangi took the boys to go and design for them the kaftans for the church with tie and dye and batik. So the boys are doing very well up to now. They stopped going to the streets and they are doing something for themselves. So if they can do it, who can't do it? We can all be designers. We just have to concentrate with what we do, and you have to be original. So I've trained some women in Mikindani, and now I'm with the Green Olive Children's Orphanage. I just started with them like 8 months ago, and the children are doing very well. We started during COVID. These children were very bored, and the tutor didn't know what to do with them. So we met somewhere, and I told her I can come and help you. The owner of the school to ask me to go and help around. So they are doing pots, and they are doing the outfit I'm wearing. Actually, I was going to wear my own design from Messi Enterprises, but the children insisted I have to wear their design. So they changed me in the morning. Wow. I had to wear their design. So this is what the children do. They do the crochet, and then they do applique on the outfit. Wow. So I think we should clap for the children. I've trained a lot of people. I also train my house helps. When my house helps come, or workers in the garden, like workers in the garden, I teach them how to do pots, sustainable life skill, income generating sustainable life skills. Like I teach them how to do the pots out of towels which are ragged. I run a hotel in Kilifi. So the towels which are ragged, we make them into pots. You'll soon see what the children are also doing with the pots. And also, I always tell them, I don't want to be with you forever. And you cannot do gardening forever, or you cannot do house help forever. So I always train my people. Please go out there and do something for yourselves. So that's my policy, and that's my motto. To empower the vulnerable. That's my part-time job, actually. I'm not really doing fashion designing for now, but we are going. I've retired. I'm 55, so I've retired, but I'm opening a school to train physically, not theory. It's called pedagogy. It's a way of training people to use your hands, to use your brains without theory, because that's what I think can make a difference in this country. We had a lot of challenges when I was in fashion designing. We had a lot of challenges, like when we were asked to do some work by Export Promotion Council for New York, Smithsonian. We were given 500 pieces of sundresses to do. We could not get anybody to do for us those sundresses. I had to import people from Nairobi to come and work, and we were given only 2 weeks. I had to import people from Nairobi to come and do them. I had to import my boys from the ghetto, the ones I taught how to come and do the screen printing and to do the spray works. And we managed only 300 pieces in 2 weeks. So we don't have skilled workers. In fact, most of the people who leave college, even if you employ them, you're wasting your time. They are not experienced at all. I want anybody to oppose me on that. Can anybody oppose me on that? When you leave college, you're very inexperienced. And that's why we are starting a college to try and train people using their hand skills and their brains and forget about theory. Sawa sawa. So now, I think my children are coming to model. Let them model first. Sawa sawa, thank you.
Very impressive. Let's clap for her, please.
Are they ready?
Helen and the team, we are waiting for you.
2 minutes. They are not ready. Okay, sawa sawa. Can somebody else take the mic and then I can come back later?
Maybe before we take the mic, does anyone have a question? Any question from the audience, please? Any question from the audience? Sure.
I just want to pose a question to everyone who's attending this. If Miss Anne can take an ex-convict who has never been into a classroom and transform them into self-employed people, now you can imagine what you yourself can do when you've had the privilege of education and a normal life. You see, being a convict takes a lot of freedom from you. And if they still can come out and make things that can go and be at this place in Buckingham, so that means that there's a lot that you can do with your natural potential as well.
That's true.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe my question to you is, what inspires you? What drives you?
Let me start by saying this. When I grew up in Eastlands, in a place called Kimathi or Madho. We used to be those ones, We are the ones who started Sheng in Eastlands, and the life there was a bit tough. But I went to Cattle Parochio, which was in town, and there were a lot of street boys then, when I was in primary. And I used to feel like these guys are begging, so I used to give them my food. Just from a young age, I just felt like giving back to the society. And I would ask my mom to pack for me some clothes and go and give them to the poor. By the way, I started earning when I was in Standard 5. I used to do voiceovers for VOK and also Swahili programs. So I started earning when I was in Standard 5. And I love money, and I always got money, And let me tell you guys, if you don't love money, money doesn't come to you, okay? I'm now retired, but I'm very comfortable, and I thank God for that. I've gone through so many problems in this life, but I can tell you, if you give back to the society, you get back, because it's God who gives you, and it's God who takes it away from you. I don't go to church, but I give my tithe as giving back to the community. That's what I do. And anytime, like when this lady from the home told me that she wants children to to be trained. I just went straight there. I didn't even think twice. I just started training the children. I give back to their society. Yeah.
Thank you. Any question?
Okay. Kuna swali ni kama watu wameshiba nayo, si ndio? Si ndio? So inakuwa ni vizuri sana. Madam, tumpigeni makofi jamani. Atarejea tena. Atarejea saizi tena madam. Nimependa venye umesema umechukulia vijana from nowhere na saizi wanafanya vizuri kupitia wewe. Hawa ndio wale malaika ambao tuko nao tunatembea nao, si ndio? Gai, hebu tumpigie hiyo. So saizi mazee ningependa madam unaweza pumzika kidogo kama wakuje, lakini saizi ningependa muweze kuchukua simu tufanye selfie. Unapiga selfie alafu hakikisha kwamba unafanya nini? Hiyo picha ambayo unapiga unaweza kuipost kwa Facebook, una tag pale Swahili Pot, unapeleka pale Alliance Française, alafu pia at the same time Terra Models, ndio utakuwa unawatag pale. Make sure unachukua selfie, unafanya hivyo Swahili Pot Hub pale, si ndio? Si ndio hivyo? Na itakuwa maridadi kabisa. Make sure unapiga hiyo picha, alafu hashtag pale inakuwa ni nini? Hashtag inakuwa ni Juwa Workshop. Juwa Workshop. Hashtag inakuwa ni Juwa Workshop. So right about now, kama bado watu wanaendelea kupiga selfie, allow me to introduce director from Terra aweze kuongea kidogo kwa sababu the children bado wako ready. Okay. For 10 minutes then tutarejea. Karibu sana. Tumpigeni makofi bwana Musa Oyo.
So asante sana. So I'd like to appreciate each and every one of you for being part of this Juwa Workshop, and we really appreciate you being here. So asanteni sana. So my name is Musa Oyo. I'm the founder of Terra Model Management, and me coming up with this project came up with the idea of I felt that designers were disconnected. I felt that they were not joining hands with the creatives. And I remember one time I was in a meeting at Swahili Pot. It was a creatives meeting. And I had asked myself, how many designers are here? In fact, I only saw one designer in the creative meeting. And we are all in the fashion, in the creative industry, be it in the music industry, be it in the arts. So at that time, I only saw one designer. So I asked myself, you have to be on your way, you have to be on the, yani lazima uwe na bidii na kuweza kuungana na watu tofauti tofauti. So that's the reason why we come up with Juwa Workshop, a place or a workshop whereby we can be able to connect, we can be able to learn from different teachers, and we really appreciate for the speakers who are here today, and really thank you for the commitment. For like Mr. Saitoti came from Nairobi, we have Miss Anne who traveled all the way from Kilifi in order to be able to teach. So we really have a long way to go. So us as Terra Model Management, what we do, we will be able to create workshops at least on different occasions, so as we can be able to learn and we can continue this conversation. So guys, I thank you very much, and we look forward towards more and more opportunities out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Musa. Let's clap for him for the wonderful job he's doing and changing the fashion industry in Mombasa County. Now on stage, I want to welcome the kids to present their work.
Tuwapigie makofi. Back to you, madam.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Hamjambo.
Hatujambo.
Shikamoo akina mama. Shikamoo wazee wenilio hapa.
Marhaba.
Karibuni. It is my pleasure to stand in front of you this afternoon as we present this with Auntie Messi. People are wondering, you were expecting a big mama for these children, eh? The big mama, the heart is inside so big, eh? So I thank God for that. This is a children home. We started 2005, but I started this when I was 10 years old. That was the first time I was told, are you the Mother Teresa? So I started becoming a Mother Teresa when I was 10 years. Little did I know. Until 2005, that's when I birthed Green Olive Children Home. And it's also a project. So I receive different types of children. I'm recognized by the government. I was recognized by the government 2009. And I take care of 3 types of children. I have abandoned children. One of them, Abdallah. Abdallah came to me, and the sister is where Abdallah. Abdallah came to me when he was 1 year and a half with the sister who was 3 years old. They were abandoned at somebody's door. And this person said, mwenye hii nyumba akija, mwambie nimeenda kuleta mboga. So even today we are waiting for the mboga. Abdallah is in class 5, and the sister is a candidate this year. She wanted to be with us, but she could not because they are preparing for the exam. I have Mary. Mary, you saw her. She's also an abandoned child by the mother, simply because after she got an injection and got this problem, mamake alisema kwao hakuzaliwangi watoto kama hao. So Mary has been with me since the last six years. So she came in when she was a small girl. We also have abandoned children at 1 day, 6 days. We have them at the children home. We have children who have been brought to the children home through destitute cases. We call them destitute children. These are children who have been abused. Some of them abused by their own parents, relatives, neighbors. So they're brought into a place for security and upbringing, and we also take them to school. The other type of children we have are orphan children. These are children who have their parents lost their parents, either both parents, a mother or a father, but the community doesn't want them. So where do they find home? They're all brought to Green Olive Children Home. How do we get these children? We get them through the children's office in Kilifi and through the police station. Any child who has been rescued by any authority, they are taken to the police station. From the police station to the children's office, we are called by the children's office, go. So my phone is, I can tell you my phone is 24/7 on. I have to have Pampers ready because you don't know what type of child you'll receive. You have to have a bed ready. Lazima ulale na maziwa. Na chakula ile tulipika jana usiku, at least nwekanga sahani moja ya malaika. Ujue malaika ataletwa saa ngapi? Because we can be called any time of the night, any time of the day. 24/7 we are on. So we've been operating Green Olive Children Home since 2005. We are at Mtwapa, Jumba Ruins Road, Karibuni. Thank you. At the moment, I have residential children 28, but the total of children that I take care of from January to January, 120 children.
Wow.
Why 120 children? These children are in the children home. The government is telling us to reintegrate them back to their relatives. So once we find a relative who is accommodative, a relative who is
accommodative,
we cooperate with that relative, we provide them with food ratio monthly. That is just monthly, yani kidogo tu juu umekubali kukaa na ule mtoto. So we give you something monthly. We take these children to public schools, both primary and secondary, so we do their follow-up. How do I get my donations? How do I make up to this? It's through friends, well-wishers.
Alright.
So anything I receive from tarehe 3 mpaka tarehe 28, I have to budget it and prepare it to divide among the 38 families. These are 38 families that I'm taking care of. Okay? Yeah. And I do all this by the grace of God.
Amen.
I do all this by the grace of God. You never know why we met this day.
Mm-hmm.
You never know why we met this day. It was amazing when I met Messi. And we call her Auntie Messi. Tunashindana kumuita Messi. When I met Auntie Messi, at once, some years ago, I think it was 6 or 7 years, she was on paper. Alikuwa kwa gazeti. Wajua ile Sunday unabwekanga home too. Then I saw her article. I saw her on the paper on the Sunday Nation. And this paper, I kept it. I have it somewhere. I'm still looking for it even today. And I tried to locate her, to find her when I heard about her story, only to meet her during this time of COVID. You can imagine, out of the 120 children, during this time of COVID, I had 60 children on ground. Ule mtoto anaambiwa, nenda kwa Auntie Esther, huko mtapata chakula. So what would I have done? I needed to accommodate them. Now what do you do with all these children? When you